Next time, some words about pulmonary circulation. You already know that pulmonary trunk start from right ventricle. It's conduct deoxygenated blood from heart to lungs. And pulmonary trunk subdivides into left and right pulmonary arteries. Pulmonary arteries goes to lungs and subdivides into arteria labaris, then segmentary arteries, and smallest arteries continues to capillary network where take place exchange of gases and oxygenated blood through 4 pulmonary veins goes to left atrium. That is pulmonary or laser circulation started from right ventricle and finished in left atrium. And systemic or large circulation starts from left ventricle with the help of aorta and finished in right atrium where superior and inferior vena cava inflow. And aorta has 3 parts: ascendance part of aorta, and beginning of ascendance part has name bulbus aorta, then aortic arc, arcus aorta, and descendants part, and descendants part subdivides into thoracic and abdominal part. Next time you will answer branches of arc of aorta. First branch, that is brachiocephalic trunk, then left common carotid artery and left subclavian artery. Brachiocephalic trunk subdivides into right subclavian and right common carotid artery. And common carotid artery, I think you know that in time of bleeding on the neck or on the head, we can stop bleeding if we press common carotid artery to anterior tubercle of which vertebra? Of 6 cervical vertebrae, yes. And 6 cervical vertebra is at the level of cricoid cartilage on the neck. Cartilaga cricoidea is opposite to the 6 cervical vertebra. That is why if you press common carotid artery at the level of cricoid cartilage, you attach it to anterior tubercle of 6 cervical vertebra. Then at the level of hyoid bone or upper border of thyroid cartilage, common carotid artery subdivides into external and internal carotid artery. External carotid artery has 3 groups of branches: anterior group, posterior group, and medial arteries. Anterior group, here it is, we have arteria thyroidea superior. It goes to thyroid gland. And from superior thyroid artery we have branch which goes to the larynx, that is arteria laryngea superior, superior laryngeal artery. It is branch from superior thyroid. Next, anterior branch, that is lingual artery, and lingual artery goes to Pyragov's triangle, superior wall of this triangle, that is hypoglossal nerve, anterior border, that is posterior border of mylohyoid muscle, and posteriorly here it is venter posterior of musculus digastricus, and this artery goes to tongue and supplies it. And last, anterior branch, that is facial artery, arteria facialis. Okay, that is facial artery, arteria facialis. It attached or it's passed through the mandible in front of which muscle? What is this muscle? Masseter. That is why you can stop bleeding on the face if you press facial artery to the mandible in front of masseter muscle. And terminal branch of arteria facialis, that is arteria angularis. It goes to the angle of eye. Arteria angularis, that is continuation of facial arteria facialis. 3 anterior branches. Now, posterior branches. First of all, they are arteria sternocleidomastoidea. It goes to the same muscle, musculus sternocleidomastoideus. Then arteria accipitalis, here it is, occipital artery. If you remember, in temporal bone was groove, sulcus arteria accipitalis. It passes through this groove and goes to occipital region and supplies skin and muscles in occipital region, arteria accipitalis. And last posterior artery, that is arteria auricularis posterior. Look here. This artery, arteria auricularis posterior, supplies external ear and skin near of ear. That is arteria auricularis posterior. And last, middle group of branches. Here it is, first of all, arteria pharyngea ascendens. This artery passes in space between external and internal carotid arteries, supplies pharynx, and also it goes to dura mater in posterior cranial fossa, that is middle ascendens pharyngeal artery, arteria pharyngea ascendens. And last two branches, they are arteria maxillaris and arteria temporalis superficialis. They are two terminal branches of external carotid artery. Here we can see only one of them, that is arteria temporalis superficialis. It passes in front of external ear. It gives frontal branch, which goes to frontal region and supplies skin and muscles. Here it is. And parietal branch goes to parietal region. Arteria temporalis superficialis. Here. And this branch, that is arteria maxillaris. And arteria maxillaris has three departments. First department behind the neck of the mandible, second department in fossa infratemporalis, and third in pterygopalatine fossa. In first department near the neck of the mandible, it gives arteria alveolaris inferior. It goes to the mandible and supplies it. And terminal branch, that is arteria mentalis, which goes to the skin of the chin. Then arteria, and it is largest branch, arteria meningea media. This artery goes into the skull through foramen spinosum in sphenate bone. It is not very clear to see. Should be foramen spinosum, and arteria meningea media supplies dura mater in medial cranial fossa. Whole this place receive blood from arteria meningea media. Then in infratemporal fossa, it gives arteria alveolaris superior posterior. This artery supplies posterior teeth on the maxilla. And in pterygopalatine fossa, it gives arteria infraorbitalis, and this artery gives arteria alveolaris superior anterior and goes to anterior teeth of the maxilla. The same here it is, it gives arteria sphenopalatina. This artery passes through foramen sphenopalatinum into nasal cavity and supplies mucous membrane of nasal cavity. And last, that is palatine artery, arteria palatina, goes to canalis palatinus major and supplies soft and hard palate. They are branches of arteria maxillaris. What else? this diagram only for your understanding. It is not necessary to draw. Forgive me, please. Thank you. We can see here. What is it? Common carotid artery, and it's subdivided into external and internal carotid. Internal carotid artery have not got branches on the neck, and from external carotid a lot of branches. Clear? That is the differences between internal and external carotid. What we can see here, that is thyroid gland, and that is why here that is arteria thyroidea superior and branch superior laryngeal artery goes to larynx. Next artery, that is arteria, look here, this one, that is lingual artery, arteria lingualis, and it is facial artery, arteria facialis, that is continuation, arteria facialis here, that is facial artery, and it continues into arteria, should be here, arteria angularis from facial artery. Then what else? It is arteria pharyngea ascendens, this one. Just a moment, no. That is pharyngea ascendens, and this one, maybe it is occipital artery, arteria occipital. It is difficult to answer because it is broken. It's maybe sternocleidomastoid artery or arteria occipitalis or arteria auricularis posterior. Well, that is all what we can see in this preparate. Just superior laryngeal from superior thyroid, lingual artery, facial artery, ascendens pharyngeal artery, and that is posterior branch. Maybe it is occipital or sternocleidomastoid or auricularis posterior. It is difficult to recognize. That is all. Next time, pulmonary circulation, arcus aorta, and branches of external carotid artery. Clear? Well, today that is all.